I've done suits for people on stage in front of thousands of people. 40 million eyes are looking at our suits right now.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's something on stage or something on a presentation you see Alice Cooper wearing, or Eddie Hall putting on for a movie, or Jordan Peterson on stage, or one of the Backstreet Boys, or or a Metallica member, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've got like an idea of, let's say, what's on brand for you and what you want to communicate.
You think people would agree with what you said, or
Well, they'd have to,
or
they're
you
gonna
would
have
get
to,
some?
they're gonna have to comment.
Yeah.
So, by the way, we're reviewing the fashion choices, the clothing choices of Biden and Trump during the presidential debate that happened here in July. Was it July? I guess end of June.
Yeah.
Was it July 1st or was it end of June? Whatever. No, it was July.
June 27.
Okay, so June 27, 2024, Biden and Trump have their first presidential debate for the 2024 election.
Yeah.
And I thought there were some peculiar choices with regards to what they wore to this debate, and we're going to unpack that a little bit.
Okay, right, let's get in. What did you notice? What are there some things that stand out right away?
Yeah, there's a big one for me. And I think there was a strategic error that was committed by the Biden team in regards to what he wore. And I think there was a brilliant strategic move by the Trump team. And it's the choice of color. So you're gonna put the picture up, right, Henry, for people to see. But look at the difference in the color. So they're both wearing a navy suit. Okay, I feel like you kind of have to wear a navy suit to a presidential debate because navy is sort of the American go-to for a business suit.
Yeah.
In some places it might be a charcoal. In the States, I've seen it's more navy.
Yeah.
And it's more traditional. You don't want to wear, you don't want to wear a black suit, although I think Biden's coming too close to that. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to wear a light or a taupe suit to show that you're not taking the event seriously.
Yeah.
A gray suit could work, but I think it presents you as sort of a muted candidate. I remember like Mitt Romney would be a guy that you would see like in a gray suit, for example, at a high function event. I'd be like,
Yeah.
like that's a very bland and boring choice.
I agree. Then, yeah, that guy seems like I guess like a boring choice, or
And maybe he was going for that.
maybe.
But here's the thing. Okay, so look at the suit that Biden and Trump wear. So Trump is wearing a more electric blue color, whereas Biden is wearing a extremely dark navy blue. And the only way you can even tell it's a navy is because he's wearing a blue tie. Because if you cover up the tie with your finger, the suit just looks black.
Yeah.
Okay?
Definitely.
Now, let me ask you a question. What is a black suit in fur? What are some words you associate with black suit?
Death,
Okay.
for example.
So one of the words you associate with a black suit is like death or funeral.
Yeah.
And what is something that is a critique of Biden right now?
That his brain is half dead.
Right. That's what people are saying, right? So it's like he's too old to be president.
Yeah.
And he shows up in a suit. Like, look at Biden just a standalone there. That's a funeral outfit.
Yeah.
That's a problem for me, is it's a funeral outfit. By the way, the reason they wear red and blue tie is pretty straightforward. Trump, Republican, Biden, Democrat, right? Little subliminal messaging there. But look at how dark Biden's suit is. So this is a funeral suit. So number one, there's an inference of death and funeral, which is not the brand you want right now for Biden.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Now let me ask you about this. So if you were to describe the way that Trump supporters would describe his persona and the way that Biden supporters would describe Biden's persona, how would you think Biden would want to be described? Like as a personality, as a persona? Like what's his brand?
Probably he used to be like a charismatic guy, right?
Okay. Let's say charismatic. What else? Like, is he angry, like yelling Joe Biden? Or is he like friendly, inviting everyone?
Friendly, definitely friendly.
So look, so the idea is like you have this guy that's Biden, right? And his image, the persona that you're trying to portray about him is like he's jovial, he's friendly, he's like, hey, I'm inclusive, welcome, let's get all together, right?
Yeah.
Look at the suit.
Doesn't really give that vibe, hey?
Yeah. This is like he's going for like a serious, like, He's preparing for battle. He's going into a, again, funeralistic type of a setting. This is a macabre sort of outfit. Like, it's dark. And so what's his message here? Like, I'm going to take Donald Trump down with my seriousness and my cutting, wit, and I'm just going to go to war and destroy this guy. Yeah. But that's not the brand. That's not the brand. So he's actually dressed.
Yeah, he's not known for that, right?
He's not dressed for the debate. He's dressed for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He's acquiescing status by going into the Trump persona with that color. It's the wrong color.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at the Donald Trump suit.
So you think Biden chose it himself then? That's the problem.
Does he choose anything himself right now? I don't know. Not, No, but again, look at this guy. So if you were to just look at the picture, just like look at the outfit and cover their faces, and you're like, which candidate stands for what? I'm like, ooh, this guy's wearing like a basically a black suit, like a super dark navy black suit. I'm like, oh, this is the Republican guy. This is the conservative guy. Yeah. This is the guy that wants to set boundaries and control behavior, and he's got more of a totalitarian outlook on things. That's not the brand that Democrats have traditionally wanted.
100%, yeah.
And here, this guy's wearing like a extremely dark suit. Now, look at Trump. What are some words that you would describe the color of Trump's outfit? Like just that blue.
Confident,
yeah. I would say electric.
Yeah.
Like high energy. By the way, if you're debating against Joe Biden, the knock against Joe Biden might be that he's what?
Old,
not high energy, not electric, not electrifying, right? And Trump is wearing a suit that's electric blue. That's the perfect choice of color against Joe Biden.
100%.
But look at the difference. That suit color Trump is wearing is inferring that he's got vitality and virality,
Yeah. And
then look at the impotence on the dark blue Biden suit. That's just like, that suit is shooting blanks.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing is, so you see the like electric blue, it's very, it's high energy.
Yeah.
It's engaging. It, I would say, is a charismatic choice of color.
Yeah.
Again, sure. I'm not commenting on the candidates. I'm saying the choice of what they're wearing. Now, here's a question. Okay, watch this. If you were to ask a Biden supporter to describe Trump's persona, what would that Biden supporter say?
Bigot, probably.
Okay, so they would call him
like
arrogant. A bigot meaning they would call him non-inclusive.
Yeah.
Okay, what else would they call him? Arrogant?
Yeah, arrogant for sure. What else they would call him?
Probably a little curt, like rude.
Yeah.
Uncouth, like somebody that's like that says inappropriate things at inappropriate times and sort of does not promote the inclusivity of different people around them.
Yeah.
That would be how they would describe him,
correct.
Right? Now look at the suit color.
It doesn't say any of that.
No.
Yeah.
It's an amicable color. It's what you would expect an entertainer in the personality, like a high influence type to wear.
Yeah.
It's the suit is dynamic. It's what I would call a color that promotes friendship. Like it's an inclusive color, actually.
Yeah.
It's a uniting color. Look at that super black. Like imagine Trump wearing the suit Biden's wearing. Then you have an intimidating douchebag figure.
Yeah.
And Trump gets it, man. Look at that. So I've seen other suits Trump wears. They're not like this. Like he's got this one, but he has darker suits, right?
For sure.
But he's communicating, I'm high energy, I'm inclusive. I'm not the douchebag you guys are saying that I am. And this is all color theory. This is what his color is saying.
Yeah. Good things to notice. I guess normal people when watching this thing wouldn't even think about it, but
there's other stuff, by the way. Look at the tie knot. So Biden is wearing an overhand tie knot.
Yeah.
And the overhand tie knot is the simplest tie to wear. It's the first tie that your dad teaches you to wear because it's the only way he knows to tie a tie.
Correct.
I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that choice of tie knot.
Really? What's the problem?
It's the easiest tie knot to tie. It infers something about the person wearing it. So, for example, if you were to right now take a guess at Biden's dexterity, at his haptic ability, like the way that he can maneuver things, what would you guess?
That this is even too hard for him.
Right. The point is that he's wearing the simplest tie knot.
Correct.
It's like, again, it's fine if you're a young, virile, high energy candidate.
Yeah.
But if the entire campaign against you is that you're old and incapable of doing things.
Yeah.
Making the simplest tie knot with the most basic mechanical, movements. Again, it infers that you're incapable.
Yeah.
Like that's a very strategic decision that was made. And I was it intentional? Like, did they want to make him incapable? Like if I'm Biden, I'm going with a full Windsor on this.
Yeah.
Like go with a nice juicy full Windsor.
Yeah.
On a lighter blue, something a little bit more unifying.
Correct.
To show that like, hey, I'm unifying and I'm capable.
Yeah.
And this is saying I'm about to die and I can't tie a tie with anything more than what a 7th grader can do.
Yeah.
I gotta look at Biden's tie. So Biden's wearing a half Windsor, by the way. Half Windsor. Much better choice. Because by the way, imagine Trump with an overhand knot. What would people say about him?
Wouldn't even imagine it, honestly. I don't think he's ever had it.
But imagine if Trump wore an overhand knot tie.
Yeah.
What would people say about it? It's like, oh, he can't even tie a tie. What a joke. Like,
correct.
Look at him. He's wearing like a tie. Like, I have no problem with overhand knots. I wear them, sometimes I think I've got a half Windsor here today, but like, no problem with it. But again, the message you're communicating is that Biden is lacking basic mechanical and haptic abilities.
Yeah.
And that he is nearing death and that he's not capable of maneuvering just some of the things that a president should be. Like, this is poor.
His interns are making his ties, right? Because that's what they know.
I mean, that probably is the case, right?
Yeah.
So I got to issue. There's a couple other problems here, by the way. The collar choice. I mean, this is crazy, but look at the collar choice. So you have a
collar for the Pioneer for the shirt.
So they're both wearing what's called a Kent collar.
Yeah.
Okay, and on both of them, it looks to be a 3.5-inch collar. Okay, it's a fairly long point. Would you say it's a 3.5?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
for
not
sure.
a 2.5. It's more than 3. It's maybe 3.25, 3.5.
Usually 3.5. Yeah, is their most classic one.
So they're wearing Kent collars. Now, here's the thing. Trump has got a diamond face shape. Okay, and if you look at collars, and we can put a chart up on this if you guys want. We have a book about this, but like, if you look at the collar and face type, there are certain collars that match certain face types.
Yeah.
So Trump wearing a 3.5-inch Kent or medium spread collar is appropriate for a diamond face.
Yeah.
It's sort of what it does is it helps a little bit elongate the face.
Correct.
And sort of take attention away from the fact that he's not very chinny.
Yeah.
But it balances him out. So say what you will, it is a correct choice from a tailoring perspective. Okay. Now Biden doesn't have a diamond face shape. He's got an oblong face.
Yeah.
Narrow and long. Okay,
Very
fine.
Long. Yeah.
That's the wrong collar for him. Like, you don't want to elongate an oblong face. So if you look at the chart for correct collar, Biden should be wearing a cutaway. Ideally, a cutaway collar, so a widespread collar, or at worst a semi cutaway.
Yeah.
Like not a medium spread, but a semi cutaway.
Semi cutaway. Yeah.
And if you want to go, if I'm Biden's fashion guy on the collar, I'm going curved cutaway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I'm not going like the circle, but like cutaway with a curve, and I'll tell you why. Because what's the messaging that you ideally want to present Biden as? How does he want to be viewed?
Like a great leader? I don't know.
Well, competent. Somebody that can take care of complex tasks.
Yeah.
To juxtapose the fact that, when he's talking, you kind of start to question that.
Yeah.
Somebody who's inclusive and amicable.
Yeah.
Again, a curved cutaway shows inclusiveness, amicability, an ability to maneuver more difficult decisions. So you're kind of having the subliminal messaging like, hey, this guy's cool, he's friendly, like he's inviting, he's welcoming, he can still do stuff.
Yeah.
I would actually go for that and it would just be a nice little touch to subliminally message that perhaps Biden has those qualities that he purports himself to have.
Yeah. Or that he used to have.
Sure. But here he's wearing a Kent 3.5-inch collar, which is not the correct choice. Okay. This is basically a grandpa choice. Like if you want to go old, but that's what you were thinking,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a grandpa. I understand that it's a grandpa collar. It can work for the right face shape. In Trump's situation, it's actually the perfect choice. And then Biden, they're wearing the same collar. And by the way, he's wearing a grandpa's choice collar
Yeah.
incorrectly for his face with an overhand knot.
Yeah.
Again, the subliminal messaging is incapability.
Yeah, he's old. Yeah, he's giving all the vibes that I'm old.
Yeah.
And what are old people known for? Very sharp. Are they very sharp?
Well, not in, I mean, look, this, I'm just telling you what I see,
Yeah.
right?
This is some great things that you noticed.
Everything else seems pretty proportional. Like, again, I really like, as much as people are going to hate me for saying this, like, I like Trump's fashion choices here.
Yeah.
Like, he's wearing the Kent collar, which for his face shape is appropriate. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I like that he went with a half Windsor to show capability, something a little bit more advanced than an overhand knot.
Yeah.
I love his choice of color. It shows vibrancy. It shows energy.
Yeah.
It shows amicability. Again, those are like he's on brand for that, you know?
Yeah,
Meaning,
yeah.
so when I say on brand, I mean he's basically just taking what people say about him and he's disempowering them with what he's putting on.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic choice. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I noticed. Anything else, Revo, that's sticking out you at all?
I think you noticed way more things that I would ever notice on this hidden messaging. But I mean, yeah, I think all the things you pointed out are definitely things that, you know, their team should understand and do a better job at.
Yeah. Let me take a look. So Trump has got the French cuff. Let me just evaluate.
Trump
it real
has
quick.
the French cuff, yeah, and Biden
Buttons.
is doing buttons, yeah.
Again, I think. So this is again. There's some consistent messaging here. So Trump is wearing French cuffs, and Biden is wearing button cuffs. So you know, I'm wearing my French lobster today.
Yeah, I would never assume. Same French cuff here.
Yeah. So again, but I mean, normally I would just say, okay, he's wearing button cuffs. It's comfortable, no problem. But again, you're trying to communicate that this guy is not senile and he's able to do the job, right?
Yeah.
And you choose the simplest of everything. You go with grandpa collar, an appropriate choice for the specific face shape that Biden has. You match it with an overhand tie knot, again, showing an incapability to perform basic haptic functions. Then you go with buttons, which, by the way, I'm not going to say it's lazy, but like in this case, it is, given the other factors, it's a lazy choice.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, it shows an incapability to maneuver small objects.
Can't even put on the cufflinks.
Yeah, like in this case, again, I would argue that maybe cufflinks would be a better choice. Maybe it's too formal. Again, you know, I kind of say like, well, the suit is super dark and you want to be not, you know, dark Brandon over here. But if I was optimizing it, I would say, you know, let's go with the cuffs and just communicate that you're a guy that's able to put on shirt cuffs.
Yeah.
You know,
What about the message it sends that Trump is a businessman
yeah.
or high-class elite, but Biden wants to come off as every man?
Well, the thing is, so yeah, Biden always wants to come off as every man. The problem is the suit choice that he made. Like if it was just like, you know, okay, workman guy. Okay, so Biden's a workman. You put on an overhand tie, button cuffs, but then you don't go with a dark, angry suit, right?
Yeah.
Like I understand, like you said, oh, maybe Biden's a workman. It's like, okay, but then you don't put on a dark, angry suit.
Yeah.
Then you put on a little bit of a lighter suit. And in this case, you know, Trump is a businessman, so he understands, you know, that he's gonna dress up like he's going to a business meeting. That's gonna be a French cuff event.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if these are intentional choices, but it seems like a suboptimal choice to me.
Yeah. I think you're right.
So, what would you have Biden wear?
I think all the things that you brought out before, having a lighter suit, lighter blue suit. It doesn't have to be light blue, but it can be a royal blue. Definitely up his tie game. Cutaway shirt with cufflinks to show I'm still on top of things.
Yeah, the fit on Biden's suit is good though. It's a good fit.
Yeah, they're both having good fits.
Well, you know, Trump is going to get a lot more flack for his fit because people are going to say that his suits tend to look sloppy. But the truth is, he's a bit overweight, and like, you know, when you're a gentleman of the fluffic equation,
And he
You're
has a
gonna-
very American suit. It's like, if
Very
of course,
American.
when we look at it from
Yeah.
Europe, then you don't see that.
Well, so the difference is, I'll tell you a little bit about lapels. Like in Europe, traditionally, the peak lapel would be considered more of a business suit in Europe,
Yeah.
versus the notch lapel would be seen more casual. There's
Correct.
some historical reasons for that. Whereas in America, it was almost like the anti-Europe. So people started wearing notch lapel suits as a more formal suit.
Yeah.
And so in America, you see in a debate, they're wearing notch lapel suits.
Yeah.
If you look at European leaders, you might notice more peak lapels during important conferences.
Yeah. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, this is very, very American. There's a couple of things happening to make these suits very, especially Trump. Like Trump's suit is like truly an American suit.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like first of all, you've got the notch lapel. It's got a very what's called low gorge. So the button position is quite low, and like where the lapel starts, it's quite low.
Yeah.
So it's a very American suit design. So I don't know. I thought Trump wore Brioni, but and this could be, but it's just like a very American cut.
He has the same cut from the 90s, right? He hasn't changed it.
I'd have to look on that, The thing is, you can say like, oh, Trump hasn't changed his style since the 90s. That may be true because the suits are, let's say, looser, but it might be, again, just because he's a little more husky.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he's just, by virtue of having to fit, is going to wear a little bit of a looser fit.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
You
nothing...
don't, you don't want to have a tight suit as well. That would be...
Well, that's the thing. People are like, I've gone to a tailor. I've gone to clients before. They're like, I want to look like this Brad Pitt thing. I'm like, dude, I'm a tailor, not a magician.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
sir, you weigh 280 pounds. Like, it's going to be not like that. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
need a
want to
personal trainer, not a tailor.
Like, you look like a packed sausage.
Yeah.
And Trump's smart for not wearing a tighter suit because he would look like a packed sausage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the Trump thing, there's nothing really overtly out of character for him,
Yeah.
other than I think the suit, the lighter choice compared to like a super dark navy is a good choice.
Yeah.
But but for Biden, I think this is just such a terrible look how macabre and grim this looks. I'm showing this picture where he's just standing there at the podium with a super dark suit looking straight ahead. Like, that doesn't look like a guy that's leading me into a brighter future.
Yeah.
And he's promising to do that. That
Yeah,
looks like
yeah,
a
yeah.
guy who came to a funeral to have a fist fight.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it's his own funeral.
And he doesn't even know it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've unpacked that. Hopefully people will get some use from that.
Yeah. You think people would agree with what you said, or
Well, they'd have to,
or
they're
you
gonna
would
have
get
to, they're
some?
gonna have to comment.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to comment. Now I've done suits for people on stage in front of thousands of people. 40
Yeah.
million eyes are looking at our suits right now.
Yeah.
Whether it's something on stage or something on a presentation you see Alice Cooper wearing, or Eddie Hall putting on for a movie, or Jordan Peterson on stage, or one of the Backstreet Boys, or or a Metallica member, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've got like an idea of, let's say, what's on brand for you and what you want to communicate.
For sure.
And I hope that Biden's team makes the collar change. I hope on the shirt.
Yeah.
I hope they go for a lighter color on the suit.
Yeah.
Not like a light blue that shows grandpa's out to lunch.
Yes. Yeah.
But,
That would
something like, here's a color that would be great.
perfect. Yeah.
Like a medium navy, not a midnight navy.
Yeah.
And I hope that they consider going to a half Windsor on him.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, if you look at Biden's collar, it's quite large on his neck. If you see the picture,
Yeah.
and I understand why. Like, I don't like tight collars, but in his case, he's got the gooseneck going.
Yeah.
I'm going to be old one day.
Like
I'll have the
maxed
same.
it
We're
out.
all going to
Yeah.
have it, right? So
Yeah.
I understand there's a comfort thing, but it's like, are they afraid that a half Windsor is going to like weigh him down and make him not be able to
Yeah.
lift his head up
Uh,
because it looks heavier? Now, keep in mind that like the weight of the tie doesn't change, but
Yeah, yeah,
is he going to be like, oh,
it can be. It
you
can
know?
be.
Again, show that he's got neck strength, people.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents on the debate. So let's post that up and see what happens.